Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Again, if you have a strap, have your strap nearby. And as always, you have whatever you sit on. So your meditation cushion, bolster, folded blankets. Okay, so we want to gather your things together. We're going to actually start out today lying down. So when you're ready, you can bring yourself down onto the floor. If you're not on a soft surface, if you don't have a padded carpet underneath you, it'd be a good idea to have a thin cushion or a folded blanket under your head. Okay, so if you want to take a few moments to come down to your mat, I'm going to mute everybody. And as always, if you need anything, just turn your mic on and let me know. All right. And then as you're ready, we're going to have the arms alongside the body. Let's make sure I'm in the frame. And just take a moment to press into your elbows, slide your shoulder blades together, bring your arms alongside. And you might pick up your right leg, reach through your toes, lengthen your leg and bring it back down. And then lift the left leg, again, reach through your toes, lengthen the leg, and bring it back down. And when you feel comfortable, you can let your eyes close and just start to bring your awareness into your body. So get a sense of how you're feeling this morning, noticing if any specific places in your body call your attention. So if there's any places where you're holding or gripping, any places where you might be feeling a little bit of tension. And see if you can feel all the places where the back of your body touches the floor. And start to surrender to that. So you might have the feeling that the floor underneath you is lifting up and your body is settling in. And softening across the forehead and around the eyes. Relax your jaw, allowing your teeth to part. Let go of your hands and your feet. And allow your awareness to now rest in the belly. And as you inhale, follow the breath through the nostrils down into the abdomen. Feel the belly lift. And as you exhale, feel the belly fall. And you're following that breath back up and out through the nose. That's nice long abdominal breaths. And as you're breathing, you're continuing that process of letting go, letting go. Whatever you've been carrying in your body all morning. And now we'll start to make those breaths a little bigger, moving into a complete breath. So again, we follow the inhalation down into the navel. We're filling the belly. And now we're also filling the chest all the way up to the shoulders. So taking in as much breath as you can. And then nice and slow, exhaling, emptying the chest, sides of the waist and belly. Good. Take another complete breath. Now we're going to practice doing that while moving the arms. So with your arms alongside, begin inhalation. And as you're filling the abdomen, your arms are lifting. As you're filling your chest, the arms are coming overhead to the floor. Lungs are full. And then as you exhale, the chest is emptying, arms are coming back to the ceiling. And as the lungs completely empty and the belly draws in, the arms come alongside. Okay, so we're inhaling, taking the biggest breath we can, back of the hands touch, the lungs are full. And then we're exhaling, emptying from top to bottom, squeezing in. Lungs are empty, hands touch. Okay, so let's keep doing that for about 5 more breaths. And the slower you move, the longer your breaths are. So if you start to feel your movement slowing down, that's a good thing. And we're just seeing if we can really sync our movement and our breathing. And you might start to have the feeling that the arms are following the breath rather than the other way around. And keep going. And now the next time that the backs of your hands land on the floor overhead, let's stay there. And we'll move into symmetrical stretching. So the right fingertips will reach, the right heel presses. And then relax, left fingers reach, left heel presses. And relax, right side. So we're just moving from side to side. One side is consciously reaching as the other side is consciously letting go. So feel that retraction, that relaxation in the side that is not elongating. And then we're going to interlace the fingers above the crown of the head, flip the palms away. And as you move towards straight elbows, bring your awareness down into your feet. And let's flex and point the toes. And roll the ankle joints. So nice big circles, big toe drawing circles on the ceiling. And just getting all those little clicks, cracks out. Good. Spinning one way, spinning the other way. And we're getting ready for one more complete breath. So now press your heels away from the body, press your palms away from the body. Inhale, fill the belly, sides of the waist, chest. And when you can't take it any more breath, release your hands. Slow exhale, arms are lifting. Good. And the belly draws in, feet relax, arms relax. Good. Okay, and now let's draw the knees into the belly. So we can kind of lift your pelvis for a minute and roll out your low back. And then let's draw the knees in. Good. So we're coming to our wind reliever position. And we can rock back and forth. And now imagining that clock face up on the ceiling, the hands are on the kneecaps, and we're just drawing a little circle. As it starts to feel fluid, the circle gets bigger. So you can do this guiding your knees, or if you move better with your hands on the floor, the hands can be alongside. Good. And just rolling out the low back, rolling out the sacrum. And when you're ready, let's switch directions. And one more. And then land your feet back on the floor. And the feet are about hip distance apart. Good. Again, the hands now will be alongside, palms down, and the knees are just dropping side to side. So let your knees come as far as they go without lifting the opposite shoulder. Upper body stays relaxed. Shoulder blades are down on the floor. Good. And we're just fanning the knees, nice little twisting motion. And the next time your knees fall to the left, just stay there. Again, so maybe your knees come all the way down, mine are up a little bit. And really relax now your right shoulder.
right elbow, right hand. If everything feels good in your lower back, the left leg can come up and rest on the outer right knee. Okay, and so that'll make your twist just a little bit more now that it's weighted. And we're going to take the left fingers to the ceiling and let the back of the hand touch the floor overhead. And let's stay here for about 5 long breaths. Again, soft hands, releasing your shoulders. And if anything feels like too much, the arm could be alongside, or the foot could come down. Good. And then when you're ready, let's bring the left foot back onto the floor. Left arm back alongside, and nice and slow, knees come back to the ceiling. And the knees are falling to the right. Good. Release your legs, and when you do, let your left shoulder soften. Left elbow, left hand. And now we're going to pick up the right foot, place it on the outer left knee. Again, if that feels good, if it's too much in your back, the foot can stay down. Right fingertips to the ceiling, back of the hand overhead. And again, moving into 5 long breaths. See if you can release the weight of your right leg. So it's just a dead weight. Very gently guiding the knee a little deeper. And also noticing the rise and fall of the abdomen. As you start to move into your warm-ups, you don't need to tell your body to breathe that way. It just becomes natural. Belly filling and emptying. Good. And then let's bring the right foot back to the floor, right arm back alongside. Nice and slow, roll onto your back. And we're going to bring the knees up again in wind reliever, this time in an open way. So my knees are towards my hips rather than closed. Good. Again, we might roll this out. Good. And we're going to start a twisting motion with the legs up. So bring your thighs in as close as they come to your belly, and my feet are flexed a little bit. Palms are down on the floor. And I'm going to drop both legs to my left. And this time it's okay if your shoulder pops up. We're going to bring the legs all the way down. And now take a big inhalation. And as you exhale, draw your belly in, thighs close onto your back. Inhale, drop the knees to the right. Good. Exhale, squeeze in, legs come up towards the belly, roll onto your back. Inhale, drop left. Good. So we're going to keep rolling from side to side, dropping the knees. And as we're lifting the legs up towards the body, we're exhaling, squeezing the abdomen in. And as we're dropping the legs, we're inhaling and relaxing. Okay, your palms can be down on the floor to keep you steady. And if this bothers your back, you can always do the same movement with your feet on the floor. Good. Now let's do it to each side one more time. Again, exhale, squeeze and roll. Inhale, drop. Good. And then bringing the knees back to the ceiling. Let's bring our feet back to the floor. Okay, we're going to do some hip rolls now. So let's let the left knee just drop out of the way a little bit. Right knee comes in towards the body, hands are down on the floor. and just start some big circles with the knee. Good. The lower leg is just kind of hanging there. And the movement is coming from your hip joint. So this place where the thigh and the pelvis meet. Good. Starting off somewhere easy and moving towards bigger circles. Good. Keep going, switch direction. And then plant the foot back on the floor. Right knee drops out a little bit to the side. Left knee comes in towards the belly. And again, we're starting off with small to medium circle up on the ceiling. And as the hip joint starts to warm up, the knee is drawing bigger circles. Until you come to the biggest circle you can make that is smooth and fluid. Yeah, when you're ready, switch directions. Get nice big circles. And then land the foot. Okay, so we're going to start using our straps now. If you want to find your strap. And we're going to start on the right side. So we'll have the strap over the arch of the right foot. Okay. And you can just hold the ends, or you can, excuse me, wrap your hands one time. Okay. It's whatever gives you a better grip on the strap. If you have a long strap, you may be able to rest your elbows on the floor. I have one of the shorter straps today, so my arms might be up a little bit. And we're just going to be, excuse me, bending and straightening the right knee. So let's bend the knee and then press the heel up towards the ceiling and bend and straighten. Good, and just practice aiming the toes right towards you. So you might take a look up and see that your knee, ankle, and big toe are all in alignment. Good, next time you come straight or close to straight, we'll draw the leg in. Good, so we're bringing the leg a little closer to the body, placing a little more pressure on the strap. And just hold here and breathe. If you don't have a strap, I was going to mention this, you can just have your hands behind your thigh. And you can be doing the same movements without the strap. And then weighting it from behind the thigh. Okay. So the strap gives us a little bit more leverage. Excuse me, but it's not absolutely necessary. Okay, so then giving yourself a little break. We're going to bend the knee, let the leg come away, take a breath. And then coming back in. So again, knee straightens, draw the leg in. 5 more breaths. And if you want a little extra action, you can kind of pull down on the strap as the foot pushes up into the strap. You get a little pressure, counter pressure from that. And now relax your effort. So let your knee bend, let the leg come away. And now the right hand is going to hold both sides of the strap. So let's bend the right knee, and we're going to start letting the right knee drop open. So you might want to rest your hand on your left hip just to make sure you don't roll onto your side. So keep your pelvis grounded. And wherever your right knee stops, That's your edge. Stay there. You can keep your knee bent, or if you want a little more, you can straighten your leg. So straightening the leg will make the stretch heavier and a little bit more intense. So bent knee or straight knee. And just start to release the weight of your leg into the strap. So your right arm is working hard. But at the same time, keep your right shoulder relaxed. Good. 3 more long breaths. Good. And then bend your knee. Bring your leg back over the body and hand the left hand both sides of the strap. Okay, we'll come again to a straight leg. And now the right leg is going to come across the body. And we're going to stop wherever we feel it in the outer thigh. So I'm going to come in slow. And for me, I engage somewhere around, I think, 45 degrees, right from the floor. And again, we're pressing out into the strap. And we should be feeling this in the outer hip, maybe the buttock. Now the left arm working hard. Keep your shoulders and face soft. 3 more breaths. Good. And then soften your knee. Let's bring the leg back overhead. And we're going to keep the leg up, but take the strap off. As you inhale now, press up through your heel. Complete breath. Fill the belly, fill the chest. And then as you exhale, the heel is lowering, the leg is lowering. And we would like the heel to touch as the lungs are empty. Okay. Once your leg comes back to the floor, you can shake it out a little bit. And then bring the sole of your foot to the floor. Let's do the other side. Again, the strap will go over the arch of the foot. We're on the left side. Excuse me. And then we'll practice again, bending and straightening the knee. So left knee bends and then straightens, press up through the heel. And take a look as best you can, lining up the toe, knee, and hip joint. Next time you come straight or close to straight, let's stay there. Draw the leg in. Again, you can put a little pressure on the strap if that feels good. You can press up into the strap with the arch of your foot if that feels good. And 5 breaths. Good. Take a little break. So bend your knee, let the leg come away. And then when you're ready, let's come back in. Straight knee, leg in. Good. 5 more breaths. And just paying attention to the sensation in the leg. So where are you feeling this? You can go to those places in your body. Good. And then let's bend the knee. Let the knee come away. And left hand, both sides of the strap. Again, my right hand might rest on my outer hip just to keep me steady as the left knee starts to drop open. We do this nice and slow because we're looking for that place where we stop. There'll be a place where if you keep going, you're going to start rolling onto your left side. Knee can stay bent or the leg can straighten. Good. And we're taking 8 long breaths here. So checking in with shoulders, hands, face muscles, facial muscles. Keeping the rest of the body soft. Left arm is working, leg is growing heavier. Good, 2 more long breaths. Remember, if it's ever a strain, the knee bends. And when you're ready to come up, bend the knee, bring the knee back over the body. Right hand takes both sides of the strap. Good. Leg straightens. And again, we'll do that chorus kick across the body. So slowly rolling towards your right hip and finding the perfect spot to stop when you feel that engagement in the outside of the left hip. And you'll probably notice if you keep going, it goes away, all right? So we need to find the best place to hold. And 3 more breaths. And then bend your knee. Bring the leg back up over the body. We're going to take the strap off. Again, the leg stays up in the air. So nice big inhalation, press up through your heel, complete breath. And as you're ready to exhale, start to slowly lower the leg. Good. Lungs are emptying. Belly draws in, heel touches. Good. Let's bring both legs long. And just roll your ankles, wiggle your toes. So we'll get that energy moving down through the legs. And then we're going to draw the knees back in, wind reliever. And just roll out your back. And then placing the feet back on the floor, the legs are touching, knees are touching, big toes are touching. And we're going to be doing an open butterfly. So we're going to be doing it with the legs and the hands. So bring your hands over your head, touch your pointer fingers, touch your thumbs. And your thumbs are going to be on the crown of your head. Elbows drop open, knees drop open. Good. And your eyes are up on the ceiling. You can let your eyes close. And just allowing the elbows to drop, knees to drop. And depending on if you're tighter in your upper body or your lower body, you may be feeling this more in the legs or more in the arms and shoulders. And just let your limbs be heavy. And as you allow stillness to move into the body, you feel the only thing moving in you is the belly rising and falling. Good. And now let's bring the arms back alongside. We'll bring the hands under the thighs. Let's help the knees close. And then you can roll to your side and let's come up to seated. And once you're up in your seated position, we've been on our backs for a long time. Let's undulate the spine. So the hands are on the knees and we're going to push forward, pull out to the side, roll back, other side and forward. Good. Let your hands keep your knees down so they're not lifting. Good. And we're waking up the back. Good. And then let's roll it the other way. And then sitting up nice and tall, heels of the hands to the forehead. And let's just draw circles on the forehead, down towards the eyebrows, up towards the hairline. Good. You can work down into your temples. You can open and close your teeth. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the legs open. Good. And again, it's nice to kind of lift the pelvis and sit right up on your sit bones. Again. So the legs are pretty stretched out. We're going to be doing a yin style forward bend. So if you have props that you like to use for that, if you have bolsters or blankets or something that you'd like to stack between your thighs, you can have those within arm's reach. And before we place them, let's just do some brushing forward and back. Good, nice and easy. And by yin style, we mean that we will be very relaxed in this position as far as muscle tension. Okay, so have something that you can rest the weight of your head on. So if you're using a bolster or blankets, they're between the thighs, and now you're coming out over the bolster, over the blankets. And then you're going to want to support the weight of your head. So you could stack your fists, and the forehead rests on the fists. You could rest your face in your hands. But we're doing something so that we can really let go. Good. And when you found a good way to prop your upper body, you could stack a block on top of your bolster, a block on top of your blanket to get kind of creative. The idea is that we don't want the weight of the head just hanging. And we're going to hold this position for 2 minutes. So if you're okay, but pretty uncomfortable, 2 minutes is a long time. You might want to bring your legs a little closer, come up a little bit. Again, so we don't want to be in a place where anything is screaming. And we relax our feet, just let the toes point wherever they do. And there's a feeling of the upper body just melting over its support. So shoulders let go. The weight of the head, let go. Soften your neck. Follow the inhalation through the nostrils down into the belly. And the exhalation back up. Bring your awareness to where you feel this most, likely inner thighs, groin area, maybe the backs of your legs.
And as you move into those places with your awareness where sensation is very strong, see if you can breathe there. So imagine that you're drawing an inhalation into the tension. And with the exhale, let go. We mentioned in other yin practices this idea of imagining your body as water. So no stiffness, flowing water. And now we're going to move into 10 ujjayi or ocean breaths. So for these breaths, we'll constrict the throat just a little bit so that we can hear the sound of our breath. It sounds like allow your awareness now to be absorbed by the sound of your breathing. 10 long breaths. And then when it's time to come up, start to walk your hands back towards your body until you're up tall again. And then we're going to use the hands to help the legs. So let's bring our legs together into our staff pose. You might walk on your sit bones, bring your heels back to touching. Maybe, wow, a lot of cracks there. Roll your ankles, flex and point your toes. And then we're going to do something for the hip joints. So this is rather like a reclined leg cradle. This is the log pose. We're going to pick up the right ankle and just place it right above the left knee. And there's a little flex in my right toes. My lower leg lines up with the mat. And if you're already feeling it in your hip, this might be enough just sitting like this. If you want a little more from it, you can lean out over it. Again, keep your toes a little bit flexed. You might flex the left toes a little as well. And if it's not too much, your elbow resting on your right knee might even be weighting it a bit. And lots going on in the hip joint, right buttock. And come back up. Okay, let's try that on the other side now. So bring your right leg back into position and we're taking the left ankle above right knee, little flex in the toes. Again, if this is enough, we're sitting up tall. Otherwise, we're starting to lead with the heart, tip out over the left leg until you find again your edge. Okay, so here I feel it, but it's not too much. If you want to wait with the left elbow rests on the inner left knee. And again, moving with your breath. And then as you're ready, tipping back up.
Bring the leg out, wiggle your toes, move your ankles. And we're going to move into our table position. Okay, so coming now to hands and knees. And as you set up, your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. And we're going to be doing our moving cat. So it'll be right elbow to left knee. Exhale, draw the abdomen in, arch the back, and then inhale, long. Okay, let's do 5. Exhale, squeeze in, inhale, long. And you can keep your eyes down on the floor so that your neck is neutral. And the next time we come open, let's stay for 5 breaths. Okay, balance and strength here. You might feel your navel lift up a little bit towards your spine. Right arm reaches, right or left toes reach. Nice and steady. Good. Come back to your table position and same thing. Left elbow, right knee. So as you exhale, elbow and knee come towards each other, the back arches. And then inhale, reach, come to a flat back. Exhale and round. Good. And the next time you come out, let's stay here. Reach through your toes, reach through your fingers. Stay nice and tall in your right shoulder joint so you're not sinking in. And we're balancing. Steady. And then back to table. Good. Let's close the legs now. So knees are touching, big toes are touching. And we'll take a step forward with the hands. And we're rolling the pelvis. So dropping forward, out to your side and back, other side and forward. Some nice big circles with the hips. And then let's take it the other way. Again, nice big circles. And then we'll start to walk our hands back. We're going to come to kneeling. Good. So if kneeling is okay for you, it's good for the quads. It's good for your feet, the arches of your feet. If kneeling is not comfortable, you can be up, right? We're still getting that stretch in the tops of the ankles. If kneeling is just not good at all for your knees, you can sit in your cross-legged position, your easy pose. Okay. We have the sternum lifted. We're going to drop the chin down towards the chest. And let's bring our fingertips to the back of the neck. So now just working tension out with pointer finger and middle finger. And we're moving down the back of the neck, feeling those 2 strong muscles that lift and lower the head. So we may be drawing circles, we may be pinching. Work as well into the place where the neck and shoulders meet. Draw little circles along the base of the skull out towards the space behind the ear. And then you can bring your hands back to your knees.
And let's bring the head into a rotation. So very slowly, ear towards shoulder, across back. And as you're rolling out your neck, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. No tension. Good. Switch directions. And then bring your gaze straight ahead. Okay, we're going to start doing a movement now that's called the moving frog. So if you are in easy pose, you will want to come back up to a kneeling position where toes are touching, knees are open, and the hands are on the floor. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to walk my hands forward, and the pelvis will come forward and back. Okay, I'm trying to show you sideways. Okay. Big toes are touching, knees are open, pelvis comes forward and back. And then I'm going to hold my moving frog by dropping my belly down onto the mat. So the next time you come forward, let your belly come down and your toes pop up. Big toes are still touching, and I'm on my left cheek. And then once you're here, this is a little bit like a butterfly pose on your belly. You could start to let your toes drop. Okay, so if your inner thighs feel tight, maybe your toes stay up high. You can start to let go. They might come to the floor. And you might feel the pubic bone pop up a little bit off the floor. There you go. That's okay, but just don't come so far down with your feet that you're really squeezing your low back. And then once you're here, you can be just on your cheek, or if you'd like to bring your forearms up for your crocodile position for your head. Forearms could be stacked, forehead resting. And without forcing my feet down, I'm just allowing my legs to be heavy. Feet are dropping, feet are dropping. And if you are resting on a cheek rather than your forehead, gently lift your head and come to the other cheek now. So you get the same twist on both sides. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the head, bring the hands to either side of the rib cage, and we're going to do a push-up to come back to kneeling. Nice and strong, push into the hands, walk your sit bones back, and we're back up to kneeling. Good. From here, we'll be moving into down dog, so you can bring your knees back to neutral, open up your feet. Good. Hands come underneath the shoulders, toes turn under, and lifting your sit bones up, down dog. And once you're up and down dog, you can pedal. You can lift your sit bones high, come up and down on your toes. And just give the whole body a nice luxurious stretch. And then dropping back to your knees, we're going to step the right leg back so that we're in alignment, left wrist, left knee, left big toes, right arch. And then from here, bring your left toes back a little bit for balance. Okay, so we're in a side position and we're going to do the backstroke. So the right arm will come up, around and through. Okay, let's do about 5 big circles. And the next time the fingertips are towards the ceiling, let's stay there. And we'd like to lift the right leg. So I'm going to bring my left hand forward just a little bit, lift the right leg, press the right heel. Again, stay here and breathe. If your neck is straining at all, look down at your hand. Good. And then bring your right foot back to the floor and pop up. Right hand is on the leg. Left arm is by the ear. And we'll take a little side bend. Good. So just breathing now into the left side body. And then cartwheeling back to table. Okay. So I'm going to change direction so I don't turn my face away from you. And we're going to press back up into down dog. So again, toes turn under, lift up. And bending your knees, lifting the heels. Good, nice big stretch. And then when you're ready, let's come back down to the knees. And this time, left leg steps back. So we're in alignment, right wrist, right knee, right big toe, left arch. And the right toes come behind for better balance. Let's backstroke the left arm. Good. And fingertips face the ceiling, palm is open. We'll think about lifting the left leg. That's appropriate. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to bring my right hand forward a little bit so that when I shift, my shoulders still over my wrist. And nice and steady, 5 breaths. Good, feeling that engagement in the core. And then the left foot comes down, pop up, and side bend. So the left arm will come down the body, right arm is up by the ear. And it's just a little dip. And then cartwheeling our way back to table. Good. Once you're back in table, we'll go right from down dog into ragdoll. So toes under, lift your sit bones. And once you're up and down dog, you can start to come up on your tiptoes, bend your knees, and walk your hands towards your body. Good. And once your heels touch down, your knees are bent, the head and shoulders are just hanging. And you can start to straighten your legs to your capacity. Your fingertips might be on the floor, your arms might be pretzeled. And the weight of the head, the weight of the shoulders, lengthen the spine. And then soften your knees a lot, draw your navel in and start to roll the body back up. We're making our way slowly up into our mountain pose. And once you're there, set the feet a little bit wider. We have soft fists with the hands. We're going to twist, keeping the eyes forward. And then come back to center. Good. So I'm facing the long end of the mat already. If you're not, if you want to face your long end, let's take a wide stance. And from this wide stance, I'm going to open the thighs. So rotate the thighs open so the toes are pointing at your short corners. And we're going to just lunge from side to side. And so knees are traveling out towards the toes, but not beyond the toes. And we're going to get ready for our side angle pose. So next time you're back in center, we're going to rotate the right thigh in, so toes point towards the middle of the mat. We're going to rotate the left thigh open. Okay. And again, my eyes, my chest, my belly are looking off the long end of the mat, and I'm dropping into my left knee and coming up. Let's drop in a few times. Again, if you're out over your foot, make your stance a little wider. And the next time you drop down into your knee, the left forearm rests. Okay. You can bring the right arm up by the ear. Gaze is either straight ahead or up towards the ceiling. Okay. Side ankle. Nice and steady. As you start to get used to it, maybe the knee bends a little more. 3 more breaths. Good. And then pressing into your foot, come on up. And again, we are in our kind of squatting legs, I would call them, and we're lunging. Toes pointing at short corners. And we'll get ready for side angle on the other side. So now left thigh rotates in, right thigh rotates out. Good, body's looking straight ahead, bend down into your right knee and come up. Good. And now as you drop down into the knee, right forearm rests on the thigh and the left arm is up by the ear. I'm staying for 5 to 8 breaths. And keep the neck neutral, either straight ahead or looking at the floor. And maybe dropping in a little deeper. And then when you're ready, come back up. Squatting legs and lunging. Good. And then from here, let's step the legs closed. So our big toes are touching, knees are touching, and we're going to just bend the knees. Okay. So keeping your heels down, this should feel good in your ankles. And then straighten the knees, stand tall. And once again, bend your knees. This time, let's bring the sit bones back. And we're going to bring the arms behind the body. Good. So we're down in a skiing position. And then as you inhale, bring your arms forward, straighten your knees, bring your arms overhead, lift up onto your toes just a little bit. And then exhaling, heels down, knees bend, arms behind. Inhaling, knees are straightening, arms are lifting, come up onto your toes. Exhaling, heels drop, knees bend, arms behind. So keep going. Do it about 2 more times and pace it perfectly for your breath. Good. No hurrying. Just being aware of your movement. All these little points of coordination. And the next time you're down in your skiing position, we'll stay there. Good. So feel the low back is neutral. Fingers are reaching. Legs are strong. And then slow motion. Let's come back up. Knees are straightening. Arms are coming overhead. Lift on your toes. Let's see if we can stay on our toes. 5 breaths. And keep big toes down. And then heels down. Arms relax. Walk a little bit. And then we will do our Agnisara practice. So this was an important point in our Foundations of Yoga course, the practice of Agnisara. Feet are hip distance apart, knees are soft, and the hands rest right above the knees. So thumbs in or thumbs out, whatever's more comfortable. Before you do anything, relax. So feel your low back lengthen, feel your belly move as you breathe. Take a nice big inhalation. And then as you exhale, lift and squeeze your pelvic floor, draw your low abdomen in, draw your belly in. As you inhale, release the belly, low abdomen, pelvic floor. Good. Keep going. Let's try to do about 10. Exhale, pelvic floor, low abdomen, navel, draw in, squeeze. Inhale, belly drop, low abdomen drop, pelvic floor. Good. So just keep going with that. Good. Again, take your time. And whenever you get to your number, again, 8, 10, 12, you can come up into mountain pose for a rest. When you get to your resting position, you are balanced over the arches of your feet, crown lifting, shoulders dropping. Yep. Okay, and then from here, let's come back down to the floor onto our belly. And we're going to come up into our Sphinx pose. So from your belly, you can lift your head and shoulders. I guess I show it better this way. Come up onto your forearms now. So elbows are underneath the shoulders, palms are down. Again, if this is too much squeeze in your lower back, elbows are out, you're a little lower. If this is good, let's bring the heels in. Remembering to stay tall in your shoulder joints, let your eyes close. And to start to follow the movement of breath in and out of the nostrils. Again, notice if you're tensing anywhere in your body. Relax your hands, your jaw, your glutes. And then we're going to come down to resting on the right cheek. And while resting on the right cheek, we're going to windshield wiper the low legs. So just let your lower legs drop from side to side. And we're lifting the head, and now we're resting on the left cheek. Big toes are pointing at the ceiling, and we're going to spin the knee joints. Good. So the lower legs are moving together, spinning at the knees. And when you're ready, switch directions. And now we're, yes.
No, that was called.
Oh, okay. Good. So keep spinning. And now you're going to have a choice. We're going to either come back to Sphinx pose for 10 breaths, or if you want to bring it up into seal, which is a little bit more difficult variation, a little more intense variation, you can do that. Seal pose is just like supported cobra. Seal is the yin name. So for 10 more breaths, I'm either bringing myself back up into my Sphinx, or if I want a little bit more, the hands step back, and I'm lifting the upper body up. So wherever you are, 10 breaths. Yeah, nice big opening in the front of the body. Keep your heart lifted. And whether you're in Sphinx or in Seal, we're going to come back to extended child's pose. So let's lift the sit bones, float them back towards the heels, forehead towards the floor. And it might feel nice to do your spider hands. So from extended child's pose, the fingertips walk forward. And then bring your hands back towards your body, come back to kneeling. Good. So our last posture is going to be a recline twist that begins prone. So with the belly down on the floor. And what we're going to do is have one cheek down, arms out, and the opposite leg will step over. Okay, so you've probably done this before with me, but I just want to make sure I keep the microphone where you can hear me. So what we're going to all do is come down onto our bellies. Our arms will be out in a letter T and we'll be resting on the left cheek. And then we're going to tent the right fingertips and start to roll onto the left heel. Good. And then the right big toe will touch behind the body. Everybody got that? You can make it a little bit more by pressing into your fingers and rolling a little bit more open. You can make it a little softer by rolling your chest and belly towards the floor. Good. So this is a shoulder opener for the left arm. My left arm is on the floor behind me. Yeah, so stay here and breathe. I'm just going to take a look at everyone. And where exactly your right toe lands is up to you. Some people like it close to the body. Some people like to walk it away. Yeah, it's whatever opens your hip better.
And then when you're ready, let's come back to our letter T. So bring the legs together, roll back onto your belly. Arms are out in a T. And now the head is going to lift and you'll be resting on your right cheek. Good. From here, the left fingertips tent and we're rolling onto our right hip. Good, knees are bent. And now let's take the left big toe out behind the body. Again, you can play with different positions, further away, closer. And we're staying here for about 2 minutes. And if there's too much going on in the front of your shoulder, you can walk your hand closer to your body. And long, deep breaths. And then when you're ready, bring your legs together, come back onto your abdomen. We'll come to the forehead, arms are alongside the rib cage, and push yourself back up to kneeling. So up through table and back to kneeling. And once you're there, we're going to take one big inhalation, gather energy into the palms of your hands. And then we're going to exhale and press that energy down the center line of the body, all the way out to straight elbows. All right, very good. Okay, so from here, let's come down into our relaxation pose. So if you want to put on something warm, if you want to turn your lights down, go ahead and do that and bring yourself to Shavasana. And when you feel comfortable, let your eyes close and start to let your body become still. Feeling the floor underneath you, feeling the weight of your body settle. And we're going to do just one tense release down the body. So now start to furrow your forehead and knit your eyebrows together. Gently squeeze your eyes shut, purse your lips, just like you're sucking on a sour lemon. Press your shoulders into the floor, upper arms firm, lower arms firm. Squeeze your hands into fists. Press your shoulders into the mat. Firm the belly just a little bit. Squeeze your buttocks, thighs, lower legs. Flex your feet and press out through your heels. Hold, hold, hold. Release. Take a nice long inhalation through your nose. And exhale out your mouth.
Again, bring your attention to your forehead this time, smoothing the forehead out, the eyebrows move apart. Relax around your eyes, across your cheekbones. Soften your jaw. And traveling around the ears, across the back of your head. Soften into the sides of your neck, the back of your neck. Relax your throat. And softening your shoulder joints. Feel the weight of your shoulders dropping. Relax your upper arms and elbows, your lower arms and wrists. Soften your hands, allowing the fingers to curl and just feeling the place where the backs of the hands rest on the floor. Feel in the palms of your hands warm energy, just as if you were holding a ball of warm energy in each hand. And just allowing that warm energy to soften the hands a little bit more. Allow that warm energy to crawl up into the wrists, into the forearms and elbows. Allow that warm energy up into the upper arms and into the shoulders. And now imagine that warmth could spread from the shoulders into the chest and soften the space around your heart. Across your upper back and down between your shoulder blades. And now relax into the sides of your waist. Release your lower back. Soften your belly. And just watch your abdomen rise and fall with your breath. So with no effort, the inhalation fills you. The exhalation empties. And softening the glutes, pelvic floor, relax your thighs, knees, lower legs and ankles. And softening out into your toes, all the little joints in your toes. And again, feel that warm energy now in the arches of your feet. And as you feel that warm energy in your arches, allow the heat to spread into your toes, your ankles, your heels, allowing your feet to really soften. Let go. And now this warm energy starts to again crawl up your legs, softening the calves, surrounds your knee joint, backs of your knees, the inner knees. And this warmth travels up the thighs. And then starts to travel right along the center line of your body, softening each vertebra in the spine. So allow this warm energy to crawl up the body and feel your back inch by inch dropping deeper into the mat, letting go, letting go. This warm energy softens all the little bones in the neck. Travels up into the skull. Then your eyes soften even more and your jaw lets go even more. And travels all the way to the crown. And now feel this warm energy at the crown of your head. And deeply relax the scalp. The forehead, the eyes. And we're going to close with a practice that's called the Om Kriya. So we know the word Kriya means a cleansing. So essentially we're using the mantra Om to cleanse the energy body. So your awareness is at the crown of your head. You take a nice big inhalation, and then as you exhale, you'll feel the exhale travel down your body to the arches of your feet, along with the mantra Om. So you'll be breathing or exhaling Om from the crown to the toes. And then your inhalation will travel from the feet all the way back up the body to the crown, again with the mantra Om, traveling right along with the breath, linked with the breath. Okay. And if at first it feels a little choppy, that's fine. It takes a while to smooth it out. Okay. So when you're ready, take a nice big inhalation. Exhale down the body. And you're somewhere out beyond the bottoms of your feet. Inhaling. And you're up above your crown. Exhale down. Good. So keep going on your own. You're hearing the mantra in your own mind. It's not articulated. And again, if it feels a little jerky, or if you feel like the breath and the mantra aren't exactly together, one's a little ahead of the other, it's okay. Keep breathing, keep hearing the sound, and relax your effort. And the whole body surrenders to the vibration of the mantra. Relaxes into it. Let's go. As you're ready, allow the sound of the mantra to go. And return to your normal breath. Let's gently roll to the side and come up onto our seat. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. And now let's cup our hands over our eyes and allow the eyes to slowly open to the darkness of the hands. And taking your hands away when you're ready. Well, thank you all so much.
Thank you, Tracy.
My
It's
pleasure.
Paula. It's Paula. I'm darked out, but it's me.
Okay.
Yeah. Earlier, my cat walked on the computer and unmuted me. That's what you heard.
Oh.
And
Yeah, that's
this is just what I needed today. Thank you very much. Bye
I'm
now.
good. I'm glad. My
Thank
cat
you,
actually
Tracy.
opened Word and typed stuff.
Yeah,
Really?
he could, but it's
Yeah, I
easier
came
this
in.
way. See you next week.
Yeah, definitely. I will be here. So
Me too. Bye now.
can't wait to see you.
Thank you, Tracy.
My pleasure.
That was lovely. That was so lovely, except for the noise. So what arrived? Your coffee, huh?